Hey guys, this is Brian behind the camera.
And Alexandra.
What episode are we on, darling?
Number 2.
No, number 2. So we were sitting here thinking, what do we want to do for number 2? And we didn't know. We had a lot of ideas actually. We figured, what would be cool is to ask you. What would you like to see? What would fire you up, etc. And got a lot of awesome ideas. And I want to thank you too for all of the great feedback. We were really inspired and just felt so much love from you guys sharing your enthusiasm for the first episode and what we're up to. Wasn't that amazing?
Totally amazing. We loved it. Thank you so much.
Yay. And we look at these ideas and we're just super inspired. And our basic idea is that we're going to talk about some big ideas. Hello. From Philosopher's Notes and Optimal Living 101, a couple of my programs, and Alexandra's Rock Your Goddess Life. Thanks, Jane, for that idea. Sharing big ideas, as I call them, that really can transform our lives. We want to do so in the context of our lives. So as we're doing things like right now we're packing up, we're getting ready to go to Bali. In 2 weeks we're leaving for 4 months. Then we're going to be back in the States for a few days, and we're going to Ecuador for a year. We're really excited about it. We want to kind of share that, share our lives, and then share what goes into, what has gone into the creation of our lives, and what goes into us staying plugged into the divine. A lot of people ask about our spiritual practices and our relationship, or how do we connect to God and express God. Well, that's really what this show, what Entheos is all about for us. So we're excited to share that. But the one that I want to talk about today that we just thought was cool for the second episode was from, we don't know how to say your name, we're sorry. We were thinking about this, we're like, M-A-I-K-E, Maike, we're going to go with. Apologies for warping that one. But you said you'd like to know how we met and developed our, quote, pipe dreams into reality over time. We thought that was a really cool way to kick it off. Let you know a little bit more about us, specifically how we met and all that good stuff. So why don't you start us off, darling?
Okay, so thank you very much for the question. We love to tell this story. I know I love to tell the story. So the story goes, I had written out my ideal man of what I wanted, emotionally, mentally, physically, all of that yummy goodness. And I had written out a detailed what I wanted, how I wanted to feel, what my experience was with him, all of that goodness of, he had integrity, but then also just things that he was passionate about. I wanted to have very similar hobbies, and I wanted to play together and work together and all these things. So I had written that out, and then I just kind of went on my day-to-day life, and I kind of had it, and I read it every once in a while. I'm like, he's coming, he's on his way, and it was just kind of a fun, playful thing for me, because I felt like I was ready to get married. And then one of my friends had said, you need to check out this website, Matt Monarch, thank you.
Go Matt.
rawfoodworld.com. And so I totally just lost my train.
So Matt told you to check out a website.
Matt told me to check out the website, and I checked it out, and it was Zod's, and I was like, this website is fantastic, amazing. Who started it? And of course it was Brian Johnson. So I looked at his profile, and I fell in love with his profile, mainly his books that he had read, because I love books, and I had never met anybody, especially a man, who had read some of the same books that I had. So I just had this aha of, I am going to marry Brian Johnson. And that was that. So I was
Lucky me.
I was working on a conference in LA, and we were looking for sponsors, and I said Zod's would be a great sponsor, and also I need to meet the CEO, Brian, so I can marry him. And my partner said, wow, I know Brian, I have his number, and I said, you've got to call him. So it became like this fun game. Zod's ended up being a sponsor of our conference, and do you want to take the rest?
Sure. So the rest is, so she's doing that. I feel so honored and flattered and special about that. Go me. And so I get an instant message actually get a phone call from her partner saying that, they have this event, and I'm like, that's great, and I don't really do a whole lot of stuff on the phone, haven't for years, so I pass that on to Siona, who is heading up some of our business stuff with Zod's, and she talks to him, and then I get an instant message from her saying, I found a woman who wants to marry you. And I'm like, that sounds great. You know, I had just kind of been out of a relationship for a while and was open to dating again and really excited about that. And I said, well, tell me some more. And she says, well, she's a former All-American volleyball player. She's raw and she meditates daily. I'm like, we can make a first date happen. That's awesome. So long story a little shorter, we wound up going out on our first date, and Alexandra was the first woman I'd ever met who had read Leo Buscaglia's Love. Not just once, but at least twice, right?
Yeah, probably 3 times, underlined, loved it.
Yeah, so I just thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And our first date went from a hike to a lunch to Costco to get a blender to the grocery store to had to take the groceries home, yeah. To reading some Dan Millman to one another to I don't know how many hours of kissing, clothes on. It's become an important part of this story. 36 hours or something like that later, we ended our first date, and it was just awesome. So and we've been through challenges, which we're going to talk about a lot too, because we just had a call on love for the Optimal Living 101 course that we're doing. And we did this one together. We talked about all the challenges we've had. So I don't want to pretend like we've had just an absolutely awesome, perfect relationship without any challenges, because that would be untrue. So we'll get into that in some other future videos. But for now, I want to bring it back to how we've manifested, as Maike, sorry about that, says, you know, the pipe dreams, right? So this idea of what's our ideal partner? That would be one of our dreams. Alexandra had created her ideal description, and I'd actually created my own as well. I had done a journal exercise where I mapped out my ideal partner in all kinds of details. And I had gotten clear that I wanted a woman who was really in her feminine essence. And I had dated a lot of different women, and I really wanted someone who was a nurturing, just a beautiful, excuse me. I think that just shake or something. Just kind of wants to play with us. But anyway, so was just excited about that. You know, I had said I wanted a massage therapist. For whatever reason, that was just important to me. And someone who's also into fitness, so a personal trainer would be really cool. And someone who's just really into reading and studying life. And all these qualities Alexandra has. The joke was, how tall was your guy supposed to be?
6'3".
6'3". I come in just under 6'1", so I was able to sneak away with that one. The joke is my aura got me to at least 6'3". But anyway, we had both identified our ideal partner. And then the other half of my exercise was, who do I need to be in order to attract that person into my life and maintain a relationship with her? So for us, manifesting our relationship came down to creating an ideal vision and then showing up. Alexandra was into Raw. That's how she met Matt Monarch, really following her passion intensely on that front. Then he said, check out this website. She did. I had followed my passion for entrepreneurialism and spirituality and capitalism, and had tried all these different things and wound up creating that business. And I say the greatest thing I got out of that business, hands down, is Alexandra. And I used to actually joke that we were going to build this company and have a dating service on it. And the joke in the business plan was, how else am I going to find my wife? That it would be the perfect place for me to find my wife. So the idea here is that we spend a lot of time articulating our ideals and then moving toward them progressively. And we're going to talk about in these PNTV, in these Entheos TV episodes, our practices of journaling and our practices of taking risks and showing up and following our bliss, following our path with heart and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that's a big theme here, particularly for our relationship, that hopefully gives you something good. Yeah? How about you, darling? What do you want to share?
I think you shared everything. I think that's really important to just trust yourself of what you want. Writing it down is always an amazing practice, and then having faith that that person does exist or that your dreams really can manifest. And doing it every day. It's like a daily thing of writing down and having that as your intention of, this is what I want in my life, this is how I want to feel, and just doing it regularly. Because if you don't do it regularly, you forget that that's what you want, and you lose faith, and you question if you can actually have it and all of that. So for me, it's been an amazing practice of discipline, of showing up, journaling, believing in myself, and yeah, rocking it every day and
having fun in the process.
And having fun.
So we're running up against, we're running up against 10 minutes here. So I hope you dug it, and we're really excited to share more. If you have any ideas you want to particularly talk about or us to riff on, please send us an email to entheostv@gmail.com, entheostv@gmail.com, or just post a comment on the Facebook page or on the YouTube page, And we're really looking forward to sharing more with you soon. Big hugs. Lots of love.
Bye.
See ya.